Every day at 4 p.m., the town fell silent as 3 little girls walked by. They never spoke, not once. People thought they were proud, but the truth, they were silent because of what their father told them. Where are you watching this video from? Comment your location and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Now let's start the story. In the lively town of Umogu, people loved noise. Market women yelled prices across the road. But at 4 p.m., everything went silent. That's when the triplet girls walked by, all the same height in faded blue gowns. And the strangest part, they never spoke. Not good afternoon, not excuse me, not even a whisper to one another. They walked like shadows, heads down, school bags tight. Adults called them the silent 3, thinking they were just proud or scared. But the old people sitting drinking beer near the junction, they just shook their heads and muttered, "Children that don't talk in this kind of world, something is wrong somewhere." The triplets lived at the very end of OG Street, in a fenced compound with a rusted iron gate that never fully closed. Their father, Mr. Kelechi, was a tall man with a permanent frown and a voice that sounded like a shout, even when he was whispering. Their mother, Adaze, hardly came out. When she did, she moved quickly, head down, as if the sky was too heavy for her eyes. The girls' names were written in the school register: Mercy, Mary, Miracle. But most of the teachers simply called them the triplets. They always sat together on the same bench in the last row by the window. If the teacher asked a question, they never raised their hands. If someone cracked a joke, they never laughed. If the class was noisy, they never joined. Yet, they were not dull. During tests, their answers were almost always correct. Their handwriting was neat. Their books were clean. It was their silence that people didn't understand. The first person to truly worry was not their parents. It was their class teacher, a young woman named Miss Joy. On her first day, she thought they were just shy. By the second week, she noticed something else. Whenever she walked close to their bench, the triplets would squeeze together and hold their breath until she passed. If any other child tried to sit between them, they would both quietly slide away, trapping the stranger in the middle, then stare straight ahead. One break time, Miss Joy watched as other children played outside. The triplets remained in the classroom, sitting side by side, eating from 3 identical plastic plates. There was no giggling, no argument over meat, no "give me water," just slow, synchronized motions. She stepped into the room. "Mercy," she said softly, "can you come?" No one moved. "Any of you," she tried again, forcing a smile. "I just want to talk." The 3 girls looked at each other briefly. Then, as if they had rehearsed it, they all shook their heads at the same time. Miss Joy's smile faded. "Okay," she said, "you can sit." But her heart refused to sit with them. That evening, on her way home, Miss Joy passed OG Street. The sky was already turning orange. She saw the triplets walking ahead with their father. He walked too fast for them, forcing them to trot to keep up. When one of them stumbled on a stone, he didn't slow down. He just barked, "Move, move, move. Don't drag your legs like a sick goat." The girl swallowed hard and hurried on. Miss Joy felt something twist in her chest. She almost called out, "Good evening," but something about the way his hand clenched the strap of his bag stopped her. She went home restless. That night, she dreamt of 3 small mouths sewn shut with red thread. When she woke, her pillow was damp with sweat. The inciting incident came on a Monday morning. Assembly had just ended. The students were marching back to their classes when the sound ripped through the air. A scream, high-pitched, sharp, cut short. It came from the direction of the girls' toilet. Children scattered, teachers rushed forward. Miss Joy reached the toilet corridor first. She saw a crowd of girls gathered, their faces pale. "What is going on here?" she shouted. The girls parted slightly. On the floor near the sink lay a junior student, her knees scraped, her hands shaking. She fell, someone whispered. She said something was inside the last toilet. What did she see? Miss Joy asked, helping the girl up. The girl pointed with trembling fingers. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. Miss Joy handed her to another teacher and walked towards the last cubicle. The door was half open. She pushed it gently. At first, she saw nothing but the cracked floor, the stained bowl, the dim light. Then her eyes adjusted. There, crouched in the corner, was one of the triplets. Her uniform was soaked with water. Her hands were clamped tightly over her ears. Her eyes were wide, staring at something only she could see. "Mercy," she whispered. The girl's body flinched, but she didn't look up. "Mercy, it's Miss Joy. You are safe." The girl slowly raised her head. Her lips parted. For a second, Miss Joy thought she was about to speak, but instead, Mercy shook her head violently, shut her eyes, and pressed her hands harder against her ears, as if she was blocking out a storm. Miss Joy's heart pounded. She knelt beside her. "Did someone lock you in here?" No answer. "Did someone hurt you?" No answer. "Did you see something?" Mercy's whole body began to tremble. She whispered one word so faint that Miss Joy almost thought she imagined it. "Stop." Then she went limp in Miss Joy's arms. By break time, the whole school was buzzing. The silent one fainted in the toilet. They said they saw a ghost. No, I heard their father beat them in the morning. The principal, Mr. Patrick, called Miss Joy into his office. "These triplets," he said, adjusting his glasses, "have they ever given you trouble?" "No, sir," I answered. "They are quiet, obedient, and brilliant. But something is wrong. They never talk, not to anyone. And now this." Mr. Patrick sighed. "You know their father," he said. "Church elder, respected man. He insisted from the beginning that nobody should disturb his daughters with unnecessary questions. He said they are special." "Special how, sir?" The principal looked away. "Some people say their birth was not ordinary. I don't like gossip. But one thing is certain, Miss Joy. If you push too hard, that man will accuse you of witch hunting his family. So we will keep quiet." Miss Joy's voice trembled. "We will invite him," Mr. Patrick replied, "but be careful. Sometimes talking can cause more trouble than silence." That evening, the triplets did not walk home at 4 p.m. They left earlier with their father, who had stormed into the principal's office like a whirlwind. Children later said they heard his voice echoing down the corridor. "My daughters are fine. Leave my family alone. Not every child must be talking like parrots." The next day, the girls were back in class. No one spoke about the toilet incident. Their father's warning had spread like Hamatan fire. But something had changed. Mercy now jumped when someone banged a locker. Mary's eyes followed every adult in the room, wide and fearful. Miracle, who used to copy notes quickly, now stared at her blank page until Miss Joy called her name. Even their silence felt different, heavier, like a padlock that had been tightened another notch. The midpoint twist crept in like smoke. It started 2 weeks later when Umogu hosted their yearly cultural day. Parents were invited. Children wore traditional clothes, presented dances and dramas, and sold homemade snacks to raise money for the school. By midday, the compound was full of clap and drum. Only one corner remained quiet. The back of Primary 6 classroom, where the triplets sat on a bench, dressed in identical red wrappers, their hair threaded and decorated with cowries. They were supposed to perform a small dance in a group, but when the music started, they didn't move. Miss Joy watched from the side, her heart twisting. "That man will disgrace them," she muttered. As if on cue, their father appeared near the gate, carrying a Bible. He didn't smile. He didn't look at other children. His eyes searched for his daughters. Miss Joy's eyes narrowed. Something about the way he scanned the compound gave her chills. Just then, the announcer ran to her. "Madam, the next drama group is not ready. Can you quickly bring any child to recite a poem? The parents are getting restless." Before she could answer, a small hand tugged her wrapper. She looked down. It was Miracle, the youngest triplet by a few minutes. She had never approached a teacher on her own before. Miss Joy blinked. "Yes, Miracle?" The girl lifted her eyes. They were wet but steady.
Her voice cracked like a door that had not been opened for years. Can you say something? Miss Joy felt the words slow. You want to speak, she whispered. Miracle